I'm back. You might recall my car looking like this from my last video, but in this clip we're painting my hood. But before we start painting the whole car, we have to weld, sand, and prep the car, and I'm going to take you through our process. First, we had to sort out the welds before we started sanding and priming the rest of the car. This is my driver's side rear wheel well, and we had to cut out the portion that we wanted to replace first, and once we matched the cut to one of our parts cars, we had to weld it on the way that it was taken off. Now, one of the crucial points to connect is here, these little circles on the fender. These are actually spot welds, which are meant to actually tack the part of the car, so like that fender portion that's hanging down, to the physical chassis of the car. Once we welded the rest of that replacement fender piece from the parts car to my car, adding in a little bit of body work and priming, you could never tell that any work was done to it. I figure right now would be a crucial time to discuss the sandpaper we used on my car. We used 220, 320, 400, and 600 grit sandpaper, and the brands we used are displayed here. We used the rougher grits like 220 and 320 to knock off the top layer of my old paint and the peeling clear coat that was on my car. Now, when we were sanding the car, we made sure to sand not to the bare metal, but to the original factory primer layer. It helps add a layer of protection, and the only time we really meant to go to bare metal was to combat the rust. Now, for the finer grits like 400 and 600, we used those for setting the crosshatch grooves in the original primer layer to be able to lay on a brand new layer of primer. However, we mostly used 600 grit after the priming process as the first step to the painting process, but more on that in the future.
Took the ducktail off. When I did, I realized that there is a good amount of rust in the windowsill. I've heard of this happening before, so I'm going to show you how we tackle that. I really probably should pull the window and replace it so that I can get down in there, but I've already checked and it's surface rust. So we'll probably put some rust converter on it and then go ahead and prime it and repaint it just by folding the windowsill back. So I'm going to use this spatula and we're going to insert this down through the bottom. There's a bottom layer of the windowsill, so we're going to insert that and fold that back so we can get to the rust here, and then I'm going to use an angle grinder to clean that off, and so you'll get to see that real time here in just a second. So we've ground very, very carefully. I've only skimmed the surface and taken just not even a millimeter off, just a tiny fragment of the surface rust to give it clean, shiny metal. And I've come back here where it was flaky and pitted and ground that and polished that out smooth with the surface of the trunk, and we'll sand that down, prime it, probably etch it, and then put primer on top of that, and then get paint on it. And it should be okay for quite a long time.
With the end of the holy surface rust war, we could finally begin the taping of my car. We used leftover brown packaging paper, which was light enough to stay taped, but strong enough to resist the abuse of the wind. We used masking tape, a lot of it, and my dad decided to start an automotive fashion trend. Now you can see our tape job here, and we made a point to fill in any gaps that would otherwise reach the inside of the car, also covering the engine bay. And we started off going really strong with a professional paint gun, and things were going really fast until we had some unexpected issues with the way the primer was being laid on the car that we just couldn't figure out that day. So we just decided to switch to an airbrush, which took hours of shooting, mixing primer, and reloading that primer. But eventually we got the car covered, and it turned out great. In these clips, we decided to paint the bottom of my hood and the lower, harder to reach spots of my car ahead of time to make it easier for the painter to not have to get down on his back or knees to be able to reach those spots. But yet again, more on the painting specifics later on. Overall, the priming process alone made me very hopeful in the general potential of this brand new car that we've slowly spent the time to put back together from a once irreparable incident, which kind of brings a brand new beacon of hope. Now all that's left is to load the car up to go get prepped once more, and finally painted.
So it's late at night already. We've got the Phoenix strapped up to a dolly and the carrier, and we're going to be hauling it first thing in the morning to the paint shop. We'll pull the tarp off, obviously, but the tarp is on it just to keep the rain out in case it rains. There are no windows in the car.
Hey everybody, just a quick side note, I just wanted to take some time from the end of the video to say I apologize for being away so long since my last upload. I'm in my junior year of high school and I'm taking some challenging classes that, especially since the later quarters, have been taking up most of my time away from editing. With the SAAB Owners Convention coming up in the summer and me finally being on the home stretch of finishing this project, I'm hoping to be able to throw some fun content your way in the coming months, so please stay tuned. I also wanted to say thank you for those of you who have stuck with me through this channel, and even those of you who are just tuning in for the first time. Your support means a whole lot, and I honestly couldn't have done all of this without the support of some of my viewers, so again, thank you. And honestly, I've learned one thing from this project: I just can't wait to be
on the road again, like a band of gypsies, we go down the highway. We're the best of friends, insisting that the world keep turning our way, and our way is on the road again.